My name is Tania Todorova. First, I would like to mention that I have 20 years experience in library and information sector in Bulgaria. I was head of university libraries, faculty libraries. I was a head of library coordination and public relations. And since 2008, I'm part of University of Library Studies and Information Technology professor staff. Now I'm full professor, doctor of science, and since 16 years yet, I'm a head of a department dedicated to library and information science studies. We educated bachelor's, master, and PhD student in our university. Also, were very glad to be part of Bobcat Association board and 2 years to serve as the president of Bobcat Association. Our main event, it is Bobcat Students Conferences in Library and Information Science, which will celebrate 32 edition in January 2024. So I'm very glad to be part of that conversation today dedicated to science in society issues. And I would like to underline that for library and information science studies and practice, science in society is a very common and very important topic. I would like to underline that citizens' science and as a common European initiative in the period of 2010-2015, Science in Society, etc., it's a core subject in library and information science, profession, and practice in general. Information specialists, library specialists are on the first line in issues dedicated to science in society and to involving people to explore science, to have a good attitude to education, lifelong learning education. So, concrete. In our curricula for bachelors in library and information management specialties, we have some core courses dedicated to citizen science. For example, we have information insurance of science and society and education. We have public relations, we have project management, we have sociology methods in libraries, and many other courses or part of courses that very common with today I would like to say updated term like citizen science. So it is very common for library and information science education and practices and library profession in general. It's a very important part. For that reason, in many of our courses, we use the methods of citizen science. We teach our students to implement it, and also we try to meet them with practitioners that explore good practices in that direction, just to make the transfer of knowledge from theory to practice. As I mentioned, we have a lot of courses that this is addressed. As I mentioned, I'm very interested in science in society, how it was a little bit older initiative of European Commission and education in European universities on that direction, and now this new term. I would like to underline it just the updated term for me, from my point of view. And in our curriculum in preparation of bachelor's, master's, and PhD students, we use as very common methods the methods dedicated to citizen science. And I will underline that in our thesis for bachelor's and master thesis, Our students regularly use the methods of citizen science and make very interesting empirical surveys and studies that they reported after that as results. But, however, we are very open to know more and more from best European practices in that direction. I think that contemporary information specialists must be very well trained to to implement the methods of citizen science, to learn good practices, and to multiply them in their future profession activities. So I think it's very, very important, very core knowledge for today specialists. And I really encourage all kinds of such activities with my colleagues, professors, with our students. And I think science citizen science bring very good networks, stable networks that continue to be alive, that continue to be valuable, no matter if you finish your study and go to the practice. Also, it makes very good communities for personal lives of people. As I told you, for me, we have a tradition to implement that knowledge in our courses. We have not one, we have four courses that have some parts of curriculum are dedicated to that methods, to that practices, because the mission of librarians, the core mission of librarians is to be next to every member of the society, to be to transfer the relevant information for relevant needs. And citizen science, it's very close to that conception in general. So there is no need for separate course. It's my short answer. But uh, we are very welcome to all extracurriculum initiatives and projects that will bring the most productive decisions, initiatives, new knowledge, new best practices to our students. I think that one of the most knowledge and personal skills that such a lecturer must have. On the first part, it is open mind. It is good public relations skills and knowledge, project management thinking, very good attitude to this policy that we called like community partnership. I think that this is the most important message to our students if we teach citizen science. Community partnership feeling when you practice the profession, when you speak with people, just to feel how we together could realize something good. Absolutely, yes. We have a lot of very good examples in our disciplines. And also, we realized a lot of papers. If you see the publication lists of professors from our department and our university, you will see a lot of research papers that explain projects and initiatives and students with the involvement of students and involvement of practitioners uh, as a good examples of citizen science initiatives in general. Yes, absolutely. This will give the opportunity to realize some idea that you have, and also when you practice in real work involvement, you learn a lot how you could develop your skills on that direction. For me, to popularize the best examples and achievements, more public relation on the real realized goods for society. How we together work to happen something, just to put efforts in promotion. In every aspect that we could do such an activities, lifelong learning initiatives, trainings, discussions, workshops, just presentations, just some open days in some to invite people to see what achieve we all together, something like that. Yes, my family participate. I'll give you example. In my house, we have one of the first in Sofia city um, air air pollution air pollution matter, and my house is one of the dots that show the air pollution of Sofia city. It is initiative of my husband before 5 years, I think, and we are from the first citizens group that start doing that. Every day you could see on my house what the air pollution in my street and region of living. So every day we generate data that are in focus of consideration of Bulgarian Academy of Science Institute and Sofia municipality to make a decision what the situation in air pollution in the city. So we are really involved in such an activity.